Hi Neil, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Very well, thanks, Gabby. Yeah, great.
Excellent. We are going to be talking about DenGro today.
Yeah,
I think a good place to start with these types of interviews is, what is DenGro?
sure. So DenGro is a CRM solution that's been built for dental practices, and it really transforms how they handle all of their inbound inquiries. So just no more spreadsheets, no more post-its, no more having to remember all these, what to do, who to acknowledge, who to follow up with. It's all coming into one place and helping you get organized and manage them. And through the automations and integrations that it has, it just streamlined that whole process through from inbound inquiry coming through to then hopefully getting someone to start treatment. So it's really just making it a much better and a more fitting way to handle inquiries today than perhaps they have been in the past.
Absolutely. Sounds like it cuts a lot of corners.
Well, it just automates things well.
I think that's something that a lot of the people listening or watching today will be able to recognise the benefits of something that does that, particularly when practices are so time poor.
Absolutely, yeah. So anything that is routine or predictable, manual and repetitive, the CRM DenGro is going to do all those things for you. And we'll get on to obviously how that benefits them. Yeah. But really, that's what it should be doing as a minimum. Just anything like that, you're just trying to free up the team to add value where they can.
For sure. So who is it for?
Sure. So as I say, built for dental practices. And really for any size, be it independent, a small group, large group, or a corporate. DenGro has customers of all shapes and sizes. It's more around whether they have a steady stream of inbound inquiries. So are they actively marketing to acquire new patients or to get existing patients to take up new treatments? As long as that demand is then, it's coming from somewhere, then having the CRM in place to help you manage that process effectively and proficiently and more easily and effectively, then they're the sorts of customers that we can really help.
Great, thank you. I think we should cut it down now into 3 little segments so people can work out which bit is relevant to them. So the benefits of this system, can we kick off with owners, dental practice owners?
Yeah, of course. So for owners coming into using DenGro, they may have come from a position of not really having, many reporting metrics to hand. So if their team's been using spreadsheet or more manual process, they may not have some of those key metrics that you can get from the CRM. So I think for them, it's giving them insight for the first time in terms of performance. If they're spending thousands on marketing and previously didn't know, well, how much am I getting? What's my return on that investment? DenGro is going to show them all of the inquiries and leads that are coming from, every campaign, every ad, every source. So they can then start to work out, well, where's my money best spent when it comes to that marketing budget.
It's valuable, really, isn't it?
You're giving them that.
These days,
absolutely. And I think as well, it's peace of mind for them, because some of the owners are actually still busy treating patients.
Sure.
So it gives them that peace of mind that they've got a solution in place. They can see how the team are getting on. They can see how responsive the team are, see that inquiries are being acknowledged and followed up. But that's a really critical thing for owners as well, is just giving them a transparent view of that whole process. Not just whether these are coming from, what happens to all of our inquiries when they hit the practice, who's picking them up, how the conversation's going, and also aside from that as well, at the end of that, what's our conversion rate? Which treatments are we converting, which aren't, and learning from that. And that's start to get a really good handle on it. And DenGro gives you that performance across the board. So as an owner, where to exploit opportunity or where the team might need more support, or if they're not converting a certain treatment, we're going to record why. So then they can actually work out, well, is that a training thing? Or are we just not resourcing the team well enough to handle the demand or the inquiries?
The gaps a bit more, perhaps.
Absolutely, and it almost justifies investment or further investment perhaps in your team, because you can see that actually we've got our CRM in place, we can see the performance, there's opportunities to grow, but the team perhaps need more help, and actually a dedicated resource, for example.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of leads me into what I was going to ask next, is how does it benefit the team then, the kind of wider base of the practice?
Yeah, and I think that's, when I think about DenGro, as I do every day, but it's very easy to we've all been to the dentist. We can see our core users, and our core users are often receptionists or TCOs, front of house staff, or even lead coordinators. And for them, isn't it nice to know that these multitasking models have got something that's going to help them have a more productive and more effective day? And so again, it's back to all that automations that DenGro provides and the integrations it has with practice management software solutions, which just means that for those that are handling the inquiries, the team themselves, they've got one place to go. Then to check the practice inbox, look in Facebook Manager, the chatbot portal, that risk of not acknowledging and following up with every single inquiry that comes their way. They've got one place where that's all they have to do is just look at that, and it tells them who to contact, when and for what reason. They can pick up conversations where they left off because there are notes, there's a profile about that person. So, they are empowered to do what's actually the most valuable thing, which is to have conversations with prospective patients and existing patients. So DenGro is freeing them up from all the manual work that adds no value, and giving them that time back to have more impact, as it were, with each other and with patients.
Yeah, I think that leads me to my final group that we mentioned earlier on in the conversation, which is obviously the patients. That's a very important part of investment in the practice, not just what benefits is it going to bring the business side, but how is it going to actually impact the patient base. So if you wouldn't mind talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, of course. And let's be honest, patients, consumers today don't have a great deal of patience, right? If you'll pardon the pun. So if they are filling out a form saying, I'm interested in a treatment, they've gone to the trouble of telling you, this is treatment interested, and these are my contact details, yes, you can contact me. And you fire that form off, you press submit, and you hear nothing. So it's not even about, in that instance, you're not even creating an impression. So as what DenGro is going to provide is, the minute that anyone shows any interest and registers interest in something you're offering, be it an open day, a membership plan, a particular treatment, they're going to be acknowledged. They know that that's hit home, that someone's going to be back in touch. And so for them, there's a bit of a reassurance thing. I know that it's I've got something. I know someone. I've got an expectation that's been set. Okay, so that's a really good first impression. And DenGro is going to send those messages branded to the practice that they've contacted. So they have that. They're also going to then get more information that's relevant to that, to their inquiry. It's not just a generic, thanks very much, someone will be in touch. They're going to be receiving information about their treatment that they're interested in. How long might they have to wait for them to see the impact, the benefits of that treatment? What's involved in that treatment? How long might it take? So they're being informed while the team have got time to actually make contact. So from a patient, perspective, you've got that reassurance, and also anyone using DenGro within the practice setting is able to pick up that conversation where it left off.
Yeah, that's true.
If I've already said I'm interested in patient finance, or I'm a nervous patient, or I don't want to have to repeat myself. And anyone using DenGro can pick up the conversation where it left, because you can see what's happened before that. And then for me, if I'm thinking about spending thousands of pounds on dental treatment, if I'm having to repeat myself, or if I'm not getting answers to questions I asked last time, I'm not going to feel very comfortable about maybe coming in for consultation or actually spending potentially thousands of pounds. So DenGro is removing all of those and just making sure that those conversations are rewarding both ways, for the practice team and for the prospective or existing patient, so that then they can make an informed decision, and equally for the practice to make sure that's the right treatment for them as well. So it's got that. I think the other thing that I wanted to add was that if you're coming from a practice setting that's been using a spreadsheet or anything else before, you can be a bit worried about new technology, new software, right? And the owners previously might have been thinking, well, I don't really know what's happening with these inquiries. And by having DenGro in place, it galvanizes trust, because the team can demonstrate to management I've tried to contact that you can see my effort, right? And so, and equally the owners can then see, well, where are the bottlenecks? Where are the things that I can actually help with? It's not people oftentimes, process, and we can really help streamline that. So what it does is it kind of brings people together around one central system, and all the metrics are objective, so.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Thank you. Really, really.
That's okay.
You explain a little bit about what you guys do and what you can offer.
Pleasure.
And have a wonderful rest of your day.
And you, thank you, Gabby.